Good afternoon, everybody. This is a message to really all students and parents. I'm going to post this on Google Classroom. I'm also going to send this in an email to parents as well. So there's been a bunch of updates, not only from me and in our math class, but also from Dr. Mast and Dr. Heisey about schedules and things that are yet to come. So what I want to do is just give you a quick overview of some of the news that we've just received and help with your projects for this week. All right. So here we go. What I'm going to start off with is just basically talking about the project. All right. I'll probably finish with some of the news at the end here. But this project, we talked about this project before we were sent home due to the virus, but I've also been posting some videos for you and some things online and answering your questions. So to keep things simple, here we go. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we've known about this project for a couple weeks now. So you have to get up and make measurements of shadows. All righty. Sleeping until 10 or 11 a.m. is not going to help you get the project done, to say the least. So you got to get up, get your butts out there and measure a couple shadows. Now, the weather was nicer yesterday, Tuesday. It was very sunny. I went out yesterday and measured the shadow lengths for both of my sons. I did it every hour, but you don't have to do it every hour. All you have to do is 6 measurements throughout the day from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Now, if you didn't get those measurements done, that's okay. You'll have some extra time here tomorrow. Thursday is going to be bright and sunny, so try to get out there and finish up any of the measurements you're missing. We are going to extend the due date because of the terrible weather. All right, so if it's rainy and dark outside, obviously there won't be many shadows. So we're going to extend the due date until next Wednesday. We're going to give you 1 week from today. All right, next Wednesday, April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke. So next Wednesday, April 1st, I'm going to say at 9 o'clock p.m. This will give you the whole day into the night to get it done. Let's keep going. So basically, let me talk about what I've gotten from students so far. If your object isn't working and you're not able to get good shadows, then you can switch. Some people were trying to use a mailbox and things got in the way. A tree was in the way or there was uneven ground. So switch. You can use yourself. You can use a family member. We are supposed to be, using social distancing, so I wouldn't go asking your neighborhood to help you out. All right. Graphing. Some other students asked me, could they make their own graphs? Sure. All right. If you want to do that, go right ahead. You don't need to use the one we gave you, but we do recommend it. All right. So here we go. I'm going to get into the project now. So here we go. So just to remind you quickly, go to classwork. All right. I picked this class here, and as you notice right here, look, I changed the due date to April 1st, 9 o'clock p.m. for both check-ins. I highly recommend you send me the check-in number 1 this week. Many of you have, and I've provided you with quick feedback. So let me just show you one example of that. So when I click on week 2 project, I can see how many students have turned it in. Now for this class, I've already returned 7 check-ins. All right, so that means it's done. I checked it, I commented to you, and you already have the credit. All right, full credit for this part of the assignment. All right, I still have yet to go answer 4 more students. All right, but if you think about it, I have some more that need to hand them in. All right, so this quickly shows me who has and who hasn't handed in yet. Try to get them in as soon as possible. All right, let me show you an example. So where was it? Right here. All right, so thanks. Well, let me get this. My face out of the way. All right, so basically here's what I see. So I opened up one sample. Thank you, Sophia, for letting me use this. I opened up one example. So this is check-in number 1. All right, so she sent a picture of what she used. She even gave me the height, which is nice. And then she answered both questions perfectly. All right, so she talks when she collected all of her data. If you didn't collect all of the data, then your check-in is not finished. All right, you need to tell me when you recorded your data and tell me that it's done. All right, then she just wrote down some factors that might affect collection of data. I answered her, here if I could just show you real quick, I answered her with a private comment. All right. And it was sent to her, via email or even on Google Classroom. When I was done reading and checking this over, I clicked return. This sent this back to Sophia and basically said, nice job. You got full credit. You're done with check-in number 1. All right. All of you are required to do that by next Wednesday. All right. So let's get back to what else we're supposed to do. Now, week 2, check-in number 2. Now, guys, this is more involved. All right. This is more involved. So I want to talk to you about what is due by next Wednesday. Check-in number 1 we just spoke about, and now this is check-in number 2. All right, this is really where you're going to give me all of your data, all of your information. So my older son is 54 inches, so I started to type this in. All right, and as you type this in and submit it, I'll be able to see it. His shadow was 256 inches long. I should be able to find the angle of elevation. So let me just show you this real quick. Okay, come on now. There we go. So for that first measurement I just showed you, my son's height was 54 inches tall. Right? So it won't be a tree. This will be his height, which was 54 inches. I measured the shadow, which was 256 inches, right? A little longer because it's in the morning, right? The sun was just starting to rise. So with 54 being here and 256 being the horizontal, we should all know that if we want the angle of elevation, you'll know the opposite side, you'll know the adjacent side. You should be able to write and solve a trig equation and use an inverse to get that angle of elevation. Then you record it in your table. All right, so I hope that's very, very clear. All right, let's go back. So, whoops, where'd you go? All right, so that's what you're going to do in the table, and you're going to do that, for, guys, 1 for 8 o'clock, 1 for 10 o'clock, 1 for noon. This is military time, right? That's 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. You only have to do this once total. You don't have to do this every day. All right, moving on. When you're done with your table, this is like if you want to write it down in paper form, then you go graph it. All right, all students were given this in hard copy form before we left, or you can just pull it up on your screen and print it at home. All right, so above 8 o'clock there will be 1 coordinate. So for my son, 8 a.m., I'm going to go straight up top here, and it'll be somewhere around here, 256 inches. So there should be 6 dots. Now, I went out with my sons yesterday and did this every hour. I annoyed them and tortured them. But I still have 3 more measurements to make, so I'm going to hop on that tomorrow. All right, so you graph your points here, and then let's go back to the check-in. It says insert a picture of your graph here. All right, so just use your phone, take a picture. If you have a scanner at home and you want to do it that way, be my guest. If you have any technical questions, or you're having any trouble, just reach out to me, but it's got to be before the due date next week. Okay. Now, let's see. On the next page, this is where you're finishing things up. Briefly explain what happens to the length of the shadow over the course of the day. Provide evidence from your findings. So, guys, you're going to have your picture. You're going to have your table. I want to know what you think the pattern is. What is the relationship? Maybe why do you think this is happening? Write a few sentences. This is not a contest to see who could write the least, and, use proper grammar, spell check, all right? Be professional. This is a project. All right. The last 2 I've been getting questions on, specifically number 4. The directions just, I don't know. Some people need clarification. So it says use your data to predict the length of Yoda's shadow. So what we're looking to find is the length of his shadow. It should probably say here that he's approximately 26 inches tall, right? Should probably say that, right? Yoda is approximately 26 inches tall. So now let's think about that, all right? And then, very importantly, this is at 1600 or, minus 12 at 4 o'clock p.m. Now think about that, guys. Look, you'll know his height, 26 inches tall. And then if you go to your table at 1600 or 4 o'clock p.m., you will have the angle of elevation. So let me go to show you that on the picture here, right? So if you're going to predict Yoda, you'll have 26 inches here. You'll have your calculated angle of elevation. You should be able to figure out his shadow. All right, I hope that helps. And then finally, very similarly, number 5, okay, they give you the time, 10 o'clock in the morning. Again, you should be able to go grab your angle of elevation in your table, and they want you to predict the height of an object. So you're trying to find the height, but they give you the shadow. All right, so they give you 2 bits of information. You go find the missing third. Okay, little explanation, quick sentence, maybe talk about your calculations. All right, guys, so that is what is due on our new due date, which is next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. All right, so this will give you a couple other chances to go get your measurements and ask me questions. All right, good. So that's the project. Okay, that is the project. So I'm hoping that clarifies any difficulties. All right, so let me see. We talked about the questions. We showed the check-ins. All right, now grading. So we are going to be home for a little while. At least the memo said that we'll be home until after spring break. So next week, starting Monday, March 30th, we will be delivering new material. All right, we'll get you that information as soon as we have it ready to go. It's just been a lot of work on our parts over here, so we'll get there. But I wanted to show you a couple quick things. So grades, we're going to start to grade a few things. So in the packet, or if you scroll later on, you will see a rubric. There are 4 rows. Data collection, you'll be graded on a scale of 1 to 4. All right, if you didn't collect the data, unfortunately, that's going to be a 0. All right, but read through this, and it clearly describes how you can get 4 out of 4. Okay, calculation, presentation, and then reflection. Okay, so basically there are 4 categories, 4 points each. It's going to be like a quiz score worth 16 points. All right, and that'll be what you're graded on for the whole project. Okay, 16-point project grade. All right, if you have any questions, again, reach out. All right, so let's see. So we talked about that. All right. Yeah, all right. So the last thing I wanted to talk to all students and parents about is next week they're giving us this recommended time frame. So ladies and gentlemen, when we were in school in the physical building, this was the set of times that we worked at. So next week, Monday, March 30th, this is the schedule we're going to follow. So if you notice, on Monday, okay, we're going to be on a block schedule. From 8 to 8:33, I'll be addressing periods 1 and 2. Excuse me. I'll be addressing period 1, 2. During this time frame, I'll be addressing period 3, 4. What I think we'll probably do is I'll have a Google Meet during 8 to 8:33 with only the students from period 1, 2. Then I'll probably do a different Google Meet during this time for period 3, 4. I'll have a Google Meet for period 10, 11 during this time, but I'll reach out to you again and I'll give you some more specific details. Okay, then the same thing for 12, 13, and then, wow, an hour lunch break. That's nice. We don't normally get that during the year, so that'll be nice. But then if you notice, after lunch, I will be available for a little over 2 hours. Okay, I'll be just available online. I might just maybe do an open Google Meet, or I might just be available via email. I'll be answering people back and forth. Okay, so that'll be Monday, which means I don't meet with period 14, 15 until Tuesday, although I might just share the information with everybody. So ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand, this is the recommended time frame for all students, teachers, starting next Monday, March 30th. Whew. All right, it's a lot of information. I know that, I don't know, I know that this is a lot. We're all in this together, and we just got to make some adjustments here, So I hope you're all doing well. I hope everybody's healthy and coping with at-home learning. I'll be in touch. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.